Tipp FM's live coverage of the Allianz Football League comes in association with John Kennedy Motors, main Toyota dealers, Clonmel. Huge discounts now available on all one-year-old demo vehicles and a wide range of new hybrid and plug-in hybrid cars now available at John Kennedy Motors, Clonmel.
Well, you're very welcome along to London McGovern Park here as Tipperary begin their 2026 National Football League campaign in McGovern Park against the Exiles. Paul Carroll with Fearghal McDonnell alongside me, and both teams have just completed their warm-up. It has been a dreary start to the day in terms of rain weather-wise here in London, but as of the last half an hour it has dried up, a little bit of a breeze, but it is a fair enough day compared to what it was like here 2 years ago when Tip drew with London in very wet conditions. Tip have failed to beat London in the last two meetings of the sides. There was a draw here in 2024, and last year in Semple Stadium at Liam Gallagher, two-pointer with one of the last kicks of the game, saw London beat Tipperary in Semple Stadium. I'm joined at the back of the stand here by Fearghal McDonnell. Fearghal, it's always a novel kind of feel being over here for these games, but it's a crucial 2 points like any other league game up for grabs.
Yeah, it's kind of quite a unique place to start the league campaign. Look, it's absolutely lovely venue. Field looks absolutely spectacular. Yeah. Got to walk it earlier on beforehand. It is pretty good. It's soft, but it's good. It's good and solid. 2 years ago there was a lot of water on the field.
Yeah. So we're going to have a minute's silence here before we have the national anthem in McGovern Park.
Football for Tipperary, and he lived in London for many years and was an active member within London GAA, involved with Acton Gales and a great supporter of London GAA. So we now pause for a minute's silence, which will start and end on the referee's whistle.
Well observed minute silence here as the sun breaks through the clouds in McGovern Park. It's time for Ronavine. So we're ready to go in McGovern Park. I'd say you could have heard that national anthem back in Tipperary without the help of the radio, because it was absolutely blasting through the speakers here. But we're ready to go. Tipperary taking on London. Let's run you down through the Tip lineup. One change. Stephen O'Brien does start for Tipperary. He comes in place of Mark Stokes at number 12. And the Tipperary team lines out with debutant Shane Garland in goals. Full back line of Jack Harney, James Morrison, Owen O'Connell. Another debutant is Ballina's Charlie King. He's in a half back line alongside the experienced duo of Luke Boland and the captain Paddy Feehan. Another debutant is Joe Higgins. He starts in midfield alongside Kieran Costello, and Owen Craddock of Holy Cross Ballycahill making his debut, whereas number 10 Shawnee O'Connor and Stephen O'Brien join him in the half forward line. And then the full forward line for Tipperary, Keane Smith, Cathal Deely and Dahi Hogan. We'll run you down through the London lineup in just a few moments time. It looks like Tipperary are going to be playing from left to right as we look out, and it is Joe Higgins competing with Daniel Clark in the middle of the field. The referee in charge is a Waterford man, Owen Morrissey. Morrissey. He throws the ball up high. Joe Higgins gets his first hand on it, and Joe Higgins gets it off the surface and pass it forward to Dahi Hogan, who's absolutely lightning with ball in hand, and he takes it up to the edge of the 40-metre arc, just loses his footing though and skids on the slippy surface here in London, and he's coughed up possession to number 12 there, Christian Healy, as London get their first possession of the game. And that was our first kind of look at the elements here, Fearghal, in terms of Dahi Hogan, so quick, but just the foot going from under him there.
Yeah, heading towards the 40 on the arc, as he says, but unfortunately got there just as he went to change the direction, slipped on it, so the ground is quite slippy, so lads need to be able to hold their feet on the ground.
Yeah, it's number 6 bringing the ball forward, Conall Gallagher, no relation to midfielder Liam Gallagher. Of course, Liam kicked that 2-pointer that we mentioned that beat Tipperary in Semple Stadium last year, but the sun is out now, and the early rain that was kind of looking like Thurles last night when we first arrived here in McGovern Park, in terms of what it was like in Semple Stadium last night with the rain falling, but that has brushed on, and it's a bright day now as London bring this ball up to the edge of the 40-metre arc. Just inside with the left boot is Joe McGill, and he sailed that one over the crossbar and between the posts. A brilliant score for London with the left boot of Joe McGill, and with 2 minutes gone, it's 1 point to no score to London. Kick out to come now from Shane Garland, a Monaghan native but exiled now in Kilsheelan, and he sends a nice little kick out forward towards Charlie King on the far side of the field. Good footwork by the Ballina youngster as he brings the ball forward, playing Fitzgibbon Cup with UL under the tutelage of David Power, and he sent Paddy Feehan away now, and Paddy Feehan has a bit of green grass in front of him, brings it all the way up to the 21. He's still going, Feehan with the left boot, kicks it high, and it's a captain score for Paddy Feehan. First score of the year for 2026 in the National League for Tipperary comes from Paddy Feehan, and a brilliant run right down through the middle.
Yeah, no, he gathered the ball and run 65 and ran straight down through the middle, and nobody really got near him or contested, and got to the 21 and just slotted over the ball from the 21, so good score, good opening so far.
Kick out long now from Andrew Walsh into the middle of the field. A cluster of bodies are there. Paddy Feehan fists it to the ground, but it's taken on the break by a London midfielder over there, Ty Barry, one of just 3 London-born players starting here today for London, and one of them is Liam Gallagher, the captain, and Shea Rafter, the full forward. Bring this ball forward though, crossing the Tipperary 45 on the far side of the field is Conor Goggin. Sides are level, a point apiece as Joe McGill, now he got a brilliant score with the left boot, now he's going with the right for a 2-pointer, and what a score that is by Joe McGill. I mentioned a moment ago, just inside the 40-metre arc, he opened the scoring with the left boot. This was outside, a 2-pointer with the right boot, and that is some advantage to have a player like that off both feet.
Yeah, no, it's fighting to be able to.
It looked like a push. Oh, that's a very contentious one. Kick out from Shane Garland went low towards Owen O'Connell, and from our vantage point in the stand, it was clear as day, push in the back on Owen O'Connell, so much so that the London corner forward had both of his hands up, which is usually a telltale sign they've done something wrong. And then play on, said the referee. Owen O'Connell got back up, and he was adjudged to have pushed over Michael O'Reilly, so it's going to be a free in now for London, and they lead 3 points to 1, and they're looking to extend their lead now. And it is going to be the man who has scored all 3 points for him, Joe McGill. And he sent that one straight over the black spot inside the arc. So a 1-pointer there. So quick start to this game. 4 minutes gone, 4 points to 1. London in the lead by 3.
Yeah, London have been very positive in their attack of that. I thought Tipperary hard done by there. There was clearly a push in the back, and Owen O'Connell as he went down on the ball. But the ball spilled away. London man got to the ball, and Owen just in his head went for the ball again, and he was leading them to push the London man in the back.
So here's Shane Garland, mentioned Monaghan native. He was Monaghan sub-goalkeeper behind Rory Beggan for a good while as this kick out goes high, aiming towards Joe Higgins and Stephen O'Brien. Stephen O'Brien does well to play it back to Paddy Feehan. James Morris is under a bit of pressure now, and the ball is bobbling around the Tipperary 45 and is skirted into the full forward line, and it's taken by Shea Rafter, the full forward. He's been well marshalled though by Jack Carney, who forces him backwards, but Joe McGill is in possession now. He's run into a cluster of Tipperary bodies and he's been overturned, and away comes Tipperary through Joe Higgins and Charlie King. Hand pass goes forward now and played off by Owen Craddock. He plays it forward now, and Shawnee O'Connor has made the run. He's out in front of his man and has the ball in his hands. He's been fouled. He's playing with an advantage, gets it off to Joe Higgins. He's going to kick it first time into Dahi Hogan, who takes it. He's got 3 men on him. He gives it back to Shawnee O'Connor. This is good from Tipperary. Pass goes to Keane Smith now inside the 14. Bit of an angle, but Keane Smith puts it over the bar. Really fast attack and play by Tipperary. Through the hands, through the feet, and over the bar with the left foot of Keane Smith. 4 points playing 2. London lead, but a great move by Tipperary.
Yeah, no, some lovely move there by Tipperary. A lot of players getting their hands on the ball. Dottie Hogan, nice fast ball played in them, head onto as well, even though there was 3 men tackling him at the same time, but got the ball back out to Shawnee O'Connor. Shawnee is able to find Keane Smith in inside.
Kick out goes long, and Joe Higgins gets a strong fist on it, fists it down to his clubmate Keane Smith. And here's another commercials man, Cathal Deely, brilliant runner with the ball, gets it off to Shawnee O'Connor. Shawnee O'Connor slices that one off the outside of the right boot, and that is going to go to the right and wide. So 4 points to 2. It remains London in the lead, but another positive possession there for Tipperary. Kick out now from Andrew Walsh. The goalkeeper sells his full back short, and Tip can overturn this. The ball is skirting around on the ground. Stephen O'Brien has got a foot to it, and he's won it now, Stephen, and he gives it a hand pass forward now to Cathal Deely on the far side. No, it's not Cathal, it's Owen Craddock over there, and he plays it back as far as Paddy Feehan. Tipperary in the blue and gold jerseys, and London in their green jerseys with the white numbers on the back and the white shorts. Here's Keane Smith, left-footed spray to another left-footer is Paddy Feehan. He sprays it to the far side of the field over there. In bright orange boots on that far side is Luke Boland, bringing it forward, surveying his options, and Tip are going to retain possession as the sun really breaks out from the clouds and illuminates the field down below us. Here's Kieran Costello, another left footer now that I think of it. He brings the ball forward up to the 40 metre arc, waiting for a bit of movement off him. He gets it in the form of Charlie King. King plays it back out to Paddy Feehan. The London management are happy with the discipline of their defence as Tipperary are forced to over and back from the 45, one sideline to the other. Now there's a penetrating run. There's a hard hit on Shawnee O'Connor, which he breaks out of, and he's still going. Shawnee O'Connor looking for the goal. Oh, brilliant diving block there by cornerback Dara Rooney. It is going to come back for the free on the edge of the 21 for Tipperary as Shawnee O'Connor was fouled. Looks like it's going to be right out near the sideline, though. A difficult free coming, but Shawnee O'Connor, real penetrating run, and he's a real threat with ball in hand.
Yeah, I think that the free is that's going a bit further back out towards the sideline from where I think the original free should have been from, but it was good. Shawnee got onto the ball, broke the tackle. You could see the referee had put the hand up for the advantage, and Shawnee just took it on up to the 13 and had a shot for a goal, but got blocked out for a 45 or out wide, but it was brought back down for the free.
You'd nearly prefer the 45.
Yeah, he would have in many ways.
for where this free is. It's going to be inside the arc, just outside the 21, but right out on the sideline on the far side of the field. So it's an angle that you'd have to be a right-footed kicker for, which Shawnee O'Connor is. So let's see, can he open his account in this year's National Football League? Out of his hands, he goes through his run-up, he kicks it high. It's looking fairly good in terms of distance, accuracy, and over the bar. Brilliant score by Shawnee O'Connor as Tip answer back with 2 points from Keane Smith and Shawnee O'Connor. 4 points to 3 now. London lead after 8 minutes here. Your coverage on Tip FM with thanks to John Kennedy Motors, your main Toyota dealers in Clonmel. So Andrew Walsh lines out in goals for London. We'll go down through their team now as Dara Rooney is cornerback, and just played it to their centre back here. Conal Gallagher is under pressure. He does get it away. Full back line of Matt Moynihan, Stephen Henry joining Dara Rooney. Conor Goggin, Conal Gallagher and Conor O'Donoghue are the half back line. Captain Liam Gallagher, partners Ty Barry in midfield. The half forward line is Joe McGill. You've heard us say his name already. 4 points is what he scored. Daniel Clark has wearing number 11, and Christian Healy is number 12 for London today. And their full forward line, Michael O'Reilly, Shea Rafter and Jim Davis. Bring the ball forward now is Daniel Clark, the number 11. Redhead players. He brings the ball forward and hand passes in behind, and it's another chance for London now as they've got in behind, and it's another score over there for London. And this time it looks like it was that full forward Shea Rafter, I believe, to put the finishing touches on that move, and he's opened his account here. 5 points playing 3, London lead. Yeah,
Shea just slipped in behind the full back line, and the ball was popped over and he got onto it and was able to slot over it, and he needs enough score.
So referee Owen Morrissey not happy with where Shane Garland had placed the tee, that it wasn't in the centre of the 21-yard line. So that has been rectified, and ball is placed on the tee now. White goalkeeper jersey with the blue hoop over the chest for Tipperary, and it's sent long by Shane Garland. He's again targeting Joe Higgins over there. Just goes over the head of Higgins as he's slow to get back up onto his feet, is the midfielder, but he's back up now. But London have won possession from that kick out, and bringing the ball forward is their number 15, Jim Davis. They've had a surging run now from their wing back, Conor O'Donoghue, on this near side. He looks comfortable bringing the ball forward as he gets a hand pass away. A right-footed kick pass goes back out the field now as London hold on to possession as they're in the lead by 2 points in the early exchanges of this Division 4 National Football League opener. Bringing the ball forward is Liam Gallagher now, the captain of the team on the far side of the field. Got bright orange, bright green boots on even as he plays a short hand pass. Hand pass goes back now to Jim Davis outside the Tipperary 45. Tipperary have the maximum amount of players they can have behind the ball. That's 12. As number 11 now, Daniel Clark brings it forward, and eager to try and get an interception there was Jack Harney, but he could have opened up a bit of space now for a shot to come in from London, and it looks good, and it's over the bar. It's another score for London. That one looks like it came off the right boot of Daniel Clark, and he's opened his account now, and there's a 6 points playing 3, and we've 11 minutes played here in McGovern Park. And in fairness, London have had a really good start to this game, Fearghal.
No, they've started exceptionally well at that, and probably getting their shots off that little bit too easy. You would like to see Tipperary just closing in on their players and not giving them an easy opportunity to get their shots away.
Here's Shane Garland now sending one long, looking for Stephen O'Brien. Stephen goes up with the hands, but he's outnumbered there where that ball was dropping, and London have got the ball and have got a pep in their step now as they bring it forward through Jim Davis. He plays it off to Daniel Clark in the central position on Tipperary's 45, and a loose hand comes in from behind. Play on, says the referee. They're playing with an advantage. Charlie King was the one to judge to have fouled, and a shot from distance from Liam Gallagher is going to go all the way into goalkeeper Shane Garland, and the ref is going to wave that wide.
Garland came. It's hard to see how Garland came and he caught the ball as Ford went wide, and we went to play it on, but the umpire then decided to wave the ball wide.
Okay.
Garland felt a bit frustrated, didn't think the ball was gone wide.
So kick out goes long towards Cathal Deely, but again it's London winning the aerial duels over there as James Morris tries to keep the ball alive, but London have it now through Kristen Healy, and they have a bit of space now to have a shot from just outside the 21. Fortunately, from a Tipperary point of view, that one has gone to the right and wide. That was another big scoring opportunity for London. 6 points playing 3.
It was. London are able to find them in that little bit more easier inside, and they're able to just get their shots away without any contest on them.
So kick out to come now from Shane Garland as there's a cluster of bodies in the Tipperary centre back position, and now they're all going running and spreading out to see can they open up a lane for Shane Garland to put the ball in. Garland puts the boot through it, another long ball towards Joe Higgins. It comes off him, and Charlie King wins it for Tipperary. Gives it off to his Ballina clubman Stephen O'Brien, who plays a peach of a ball forward now to Kieran Costello, and he gives it off to Dahi Hogan now. Dahi up to the edge of the 21, cuts inside onto his left boot, and Dahi just pulls his shot to the right and wide, and with his left boot you'd have fancied him all day with that one, and it's just gone to the right and wide, and marginally so. Didn't get a good connection on that kick though.
Didn't get a good connection and just pulled it wide, and just probably hit the back extension.
So kick out to come from Andrew Walsh in the black goalkeeper jersey, black shorts, as he sails this ball high into the middle of the field, and it's a brilliant take there by James Morris. He gets the ball pulled out of his hands. The ball is now on the ground, and it's won by Stephen O'Brien, who gets a heavy knock to the head there. Just a real awkward collision between him and Conor Goggin, and in fairness to Conor Goggin, he was so close to Stephen O'Brien, there was nothing really he could do. It was just an incidental kind of collision, and
it was just pure accidental clash of heads. Stephen O'Brien kind of got the broken ball, went down, and was bringing it up into position as he came back up. In fairness, the London player kind of just studied position, and two of them clashed heads with each other.
Yeah, so much so that the referee wanted the London player to be checked as well by the physio. So Owen Morrissey making sure all is well. So we're going to be able to continue with 15 on 15, thankfully. And Paddy Feehan now is in possession of this ball, central position on the Tipperary 65. And he's looking to see if there are any runners off him. One of them is Luke Boland, and he puts it into the space in front of Luke, and away goes Luke. He's a hard man to stop as he hand passes it forward to Stephen O'Brien now. Stephen gives it back to Luke, who's continued his run. He's a bit bottled up now as he gets it away to Shawnee O'Connor, who's trying to get through a body of green jerseys, and he's called for over-carrying, and it's going to be a free out for London as Tip just ran into one too many blind alleys there.
Yeah, it was good defence by Limerick there to kind of snuffed it out very
London
quickly. Exactly.
The green jerseys.
Yeah, exactly.
And away comes London now, coming out through their full back line, and it is their centre back in possession of it. That's Conal Gallagher. He brings it forward now, and just very confident start to this game from London. and they do have a good record here in McGovern Park. If you look at their overall records, they're always much better here in McGovern Park than they are when they have to fly home to Ireland. But here they go again, and they're up to the edge of the 40-metre arc, and pirouetting from some tackles is number 12. This will be a lovely score if it curls in, and it just curls in. Christian Healy, as he slalomed through a couple of Tipperary defenders, and then off the right inside of the right boot, just curled that high inside the right upright. And it's another score for London, 7 points playing 3.
Yeah, London just seemed to be able to get their shots away that little bit more easier and without any too much of a contest. Now, I know he was under a small bit of pressure there at that time, but he got a sweet shot away, and Paul curled in on the far right hand side in.
Yeah, it was a lovely ball flight to watch in the air, and a nice kick out there by Shane Garland finds Jack Harney, and now Luke Boland finds a pocket of space in the half-back line with loads of space to run into now as he brings it from 165 to the other. Hand pass goes off to Owen Craddock. Craddock now hand pass it forward into the corner flag position where Keane Smith is in around the back of his man now. Keane Smith, he's bearing down on goals, and he kicks it high over the bar for what is his second point of the day for Keane Smith, and 7 points playing 4 now. Good score for Tipperary, and again good quick movement from Tipperary.
It was good quick movement that time. One more kick out, moved the balls quickly up to, found Luke Boland in space, and he was able to attack it going forward, and 1-2 in that, and got Keane Smith in. Even though he was taking a shot, he was being pulled back by the jersey. The referee had given him the advantage, but he took the score nicely.
Kick out from Andrew Walsh now as he goes long and high into the middle of the field, and an early jump into the back by Daniel Clark, but Tipperary have intercepted the ball through Charlie King now. King brings it forward, gets it off to Shawnee O'Connor. Shawnee O'Connor has a man outside him. It could be a goal chance as Keane Smith brings it forward again, and Keane Smith is going to put it over the bar for his third point from play here today as Tipperary narrow the gap. 7 points for London, 5 for Tipperary. But again, we're saying it again, Fearghal, it's quick movement, interception by Charlie King, and within 5 seconds the ball was over the bar.
No, they're moving. When they get their hands on the ball and breaking ball, they are able to move the ball that much quicker at that, and getting in. That time I think Keane Smith did the right option. The ball was played out. He could have took it on for another bit to go for a goal, but I think he did the right option and taking the point.
Kick out goes long, and Paddy Feehan bats it down to Luke Boland, and away comes Cathal Deely now, a real athlete, as he brings the ball forward, and it's starting to open it up as he gets it off to Shawnee O'Connor. Shawnee from the 21 kicks it high. One umpire nods to the other, and Tipperary are starting to motion now as Shawnee O'Connor sends that high between the posts. 7 points for London, 6 for Tipperary. But broken record stuff. Another quick attack, Fearghal.
Yeah, no, exactly same. Very similar to the previous move of that, and Shawnee got the ball on the 21, quick turn, and was able to slot the ball over the bar.
Owen Morrissey has a thing with the goalkeepers here about where they're placing the tee. It has to be directly in the middle of the 21, but
it's only a foot. He's after moving it back.
Yeah. So Andrew Walsh sends this ball long now. Owen Craddock is underneath it, and he caught it originally, but it was just batted out of his hands, but he's done well to win it back off the surface. Craddock in his debut, the Holy Cross Ballycal man, as he gets it off to Paddy Feehan, as Paddy sprays it out to the far side of the field to Luke Boland, who crosses the 65, soling the ball, has time to just check his run and give it back into Paddy Feehan, as Tip now get into possession with Kieran Costello. Costello crossing the 45 now, as he has Owen Craddock out in front of him, and Keane Smith is coming short behind Craddock if he wants that option. Instead he's going to kick it back out to Paddy Feehan. He's going to spray it over to Luke Boland. So we've seen Tip with the quick attacks. Let's see how they can get on with some of the slower attacks where London are really set in their defensive shell. Usually a good man to have in possession is Keane Smith in these situations, and he has it now. Brings it up to the edge of the 40-metre arc at the corner flag position, gets it off to Cathal Deely. Cathal Deely cutting inside as the ball knocked away from him, and he's forced to go back out the field to Paddy Feehan. But I think Niall Fitzgerald will be happy enough just to slow things down, because London have started the game so well that any bit of ball in possession for Tipperary and just get them into the game is good. 19 minutes gone here, 7 points to 6. London lead by 1. And he's Keane Smith. He's got 3 points from play in this game. Paddy Feehan has got 1 and Shawnee O'Connor has got 2. So here's Keane Smith. I believe his brother Killian was a part of the high school Clonmel team yesterday. Had a brilliant win in the Carnivore semi-final, but maybe chat a bit about that at half-time. A real good weekend for Tip football with Abbey CBS success in the B semi-final as well. But here's Luke Boland bringing the ball forward, just loses his footing but keeps possession. Unfortunately, him and his man both slipped at the exact same time. A little bit of a slippy patch over there, but very, very slow attack. We should have enjoyed those fast attacks, Fearghal, while we had them.
We should have had, but those attacks came from breaking ball around midfield. Just at this stage now, London were able to reset themselves from a defensive point of view, and they are quite set up in defence. Unfortunately, anytime we do try to break, to have that attack, our players are their foot goes from them, and they do slip, but they retain the ball.
Yeah, and players become aware of that then, that they don't want to be the one to try and beat a man and slip and lose the ball and lose possession. So they're playing the conditions here, Tipperary. But we've had an entertaining first 20 minutes here in McGovern Park in London. But it is the home side, London with a 1-point lead, 7 points, playing 6. Here's Stephen O'Brien as he gives it off to Paddy Feehan now. Paddy Feehan looks like he's been pulled down and pulled back, and the referee disagrees, and it's going to be London who win the ball back now as Tip maybe try and keep a press up, but away comes London.
Yes. Saying Paddy, just when he's got the ball and he took it on, he kind of slipped and the ball went away from him. Now London are on attack here now. Yeah,
and London have a load of space to operate in as they play a ball forward, and they go through the hands and they're still going. This is a great move, cut out by Luke Boland, but his batted effort has gone forward to two London players, and James Morris was Owen O'Connell was just late to that as he tried to flick the ball away from the London man. He's tripped him up, and it is going to be a free in, and he was just a fraction late to that challenge as he tried to kick the ball away. He ended up tripping up the London forward, and he's getting a talking to by referee Owen Morrissey, but it looked like a fairly honest attempt to try and flick the ball, but he was just late to it, and it looks like he's going to go into the book.
I think he could have had a 50-50 case there now, a bit harsh of a yellow card. The two players were kind of going for the ball on the ground, putting the foot in, and unfortunately Owen just was maybe that second late to get to it.
So free inside the 21 and about 15 yards to the left of the left-hand post, so opens it up for a right-footed kicker, which Joe McGill hasn't put a foot wrong, and he hasn't put a foot wrong yet with his 5th point of the day here, as it's 8 points, playing 6 now. London lead by 2, and we have 22 minutes gone here in McGovern Park. So kick-out coming again from Shane Garland, surveying his options as he sprays one out to the far side of the field to cornerback Jack Harney, and you can really see the players struggling with their balance and footwork as Jack Harney now under an awful lot of player, and he's tripped by London man, and he goes with the tap and go. Free out for Tipperary. Here's Luke Boland now as he gets around the tackle really well now. He's under pressure, and it's going to come back for the original free. And the London corner forward isn't happy with that. Michael O'Reilly, he believes that Luke Boland
there's a breach here, 3 up. They've only 1 or 2 back.
So it is a bit of confusion here. London definitely didn't have the 3 players in their own half of the field, so I think by rule that's a free from the 21.
It should have been.
The referee is having a word with his linesman, and it is going to be a free in for Tipperary on the 21. So
just to the linesman at the far side, he called it.
So both sets of players getting caught up in that kind of wild passage of plays. Luke Boland had a man coming running behind him, and Luke could feel it coming, so Luke put back his left arm around the shoulder of the London man to try and get him off him, and then the referee blew the whistle, and Tipper actually going to bring this out to have a go at a 2-pointer here. So Stephen O'Brien is going to put this on the ground for a 2-pointer to try and level the game here. Central position on the 45. He's down on one knee, almost like a Jack Crowley or someone, a rugby conversion. As he's placed the ball down, he stabs his foot into the ground behind the ball to try and tee it up as best he can. Right-footed attempt coming now for Stephen O'Brien. Central position into a bit of a breeze here in McGovern Park. He kicks it, gets a real good kick on it. Is it accurate? It's certainly high enough, and it has just gone to the right and wide there for Stephen O'Brien, and that would have been long enough from about 65 yards out. A real powerful strike, but just to the right and wide. 8 points to 6 remains. London by 2.
Yeah, Stephen definitely had the distance on that kick at that, but unfortunately just tailed off right. He just took it inside the arc. Yeah.
Now it's another error by London. The ball didn't go 40 metres from the kick out, so it's going to be a free in for Tipperary. And you really need to be up to scratch with these rules in terms of, is this just one that you can take from where it was given, or can you bring this one outside?
No, he has to be inside the arc of that. You can't bring it back out.
Okay, yeah.
So it will be only for 1-pointer. Stephen is going to have another attempt at it again off the ground.
Yeah, so this is going to be as long as a 1-pointer can be, really. It's going to be not quite 40 metres, but it is all of 39.9, I'd say.
Yeah, just a fraction inside the 40 metre arc, and just to the right of the upright, the right hand side of the goals.
So here goes Stephen, ball placed on the ground, wearing the number 23 jersey here today. vice captain of the team, as he sends this high, and it's wide at the far post this time. So it was wide at the right hand post with his first free, wide at the left in his second. You'd hope the next one he'll have learned from that and gathered enough information to maybe put it between them. So let's see what happens from this kick out coming from Andrew Walsh in the goals for London. We have 25 minutes played, 10 minutes to go before half time, and it is London who lead by 2, but Tipperary have cut out that kick out through Owen Craddock, and Shawnee O'Connor plays a lovely ball forward to Stephen O'Brien, and they're going through the hands now as far as Dahi Hogan. Dahi back to Stephen O'Brien, and back out it goes to Luke Boland now. Outside the 45, taking this ball forward is Paddy Feehan. He has the run of Joe Higgins in front of him, and it goes backwards towards Kieran Costello. Costello brings this ball forward and gets it off to Keane Smith, who's stuck in a right corner flag position as he tries to open it up on his left boot. It's going to drop short into the goalkeeper Andrew Walsh. He's under pressure now, and he wins a free that only goalkeepers ever seem to win. Didn't really seem like too much heavy contact on him as he was coming out past the 14 with that, but those always go the goalkeeper's way.
I think he might just got a slight little tudge over the shoulder as he was coming out with the ball.
So they've gone short with the free, and working through the hands now are London inside the Tipperary 65, just down below us, as the sun continues to break through the overcast day here in London, the west of London. Heathrow only a couple of kilometres over the road, as James Morris cuts out that ball played into the full forward line, and out comes the Commercials full back. He's looking for an option now, and he gets it back now to Jack Harney. Harney brings the ball, gives it off to James Morris, and a loose pass goes there, but a pull back by one of the London players gives the free out to Tipperary. So Luke Boland back on the 45, looking to launch this next attack. Yeah,
it was good play by Jack Harney. Get on the ball, it was coming over, and just as he went to release it off to Stephen O'Brien, his hand was pulled back. We won the free.
Here's Keane Smith now operating with possession. He's going to spray it over to Luke Boland on the far side of the field. Luke now looking to take his man on. Keane Smith dropping deep, but here's James Morris instead. Central position on his own 65. Hand passes it to the near side to number 4 down below is Owen O'Connell, as he's surveying his options now. Nothing much happening in front of him. It's a bit of a stagnant attack from Tipperary. They haven't crossed the halfway line. They've been under pressure from London. But away comes Owen O'Connell now, and away comes Jack Harney now. There's a bit of green grass in front of him. Up as far as the 45, gets a hand pass off to Dahi Hogan. Dahi Hogan just had to wait for the ball to come to him though, and that lost the chance. And away comes London. A lovely take on the spin by Conor Goggin as he hand passed it forward to Daniel Clark, as London now try to launch a quick attack, and Clark could be in around the back here. He's held up, he's fouled by Luke Boland. He's going to play with an advantage. He's going to try and kick the score anyway, and it looks like he might have done it. And it's a brilliant score by Daniel Clark, his second of the day. And it's now 9 points playing 6. London lead by 3, 28 minutes gone in the first half.
Yeah, unfortunately it was an easy turnover. We had the ball worked up to the 40 metre arc, and unfortunately Donny just needs to be a bit stronger holding on to the ball. Coughed it up, and London broke with the ball, and a swift move back down the field, and London got in for get their score.
Kick out goes long and high down on top of Dahi Hogan. I'm not sure that's the ball he wants coming his way, as London now have won it, and on the break they go long, and they have got another score that looked like it could have been number 10 again, and it is Joe McGill. That is 6 first half points for him, and it's 10 points playing 6. London lead by 4. So that kick out went long down on top of Dahi Hogan, and Dahi certainly much better with ball close to ground, and a big high ball coming in on top of him in the middle of the field. So that certainly isn't the kick out strategy, I'm sure, for Tipperary. Here's Shane Garland now going long towards Stephen O'Brien, and O'Brien got 2 hands on it, just knocked out of his hands, and it's been knocked out of Kieran Costello's hands, and it's been given as a London ball.
Yeah, unfortunately Stephen got his hand on the ball, but popped out of it and went up, and Kieran Costello got his hands onto it, but just spilt away over the sideline.
And going quick are London in as far as Shea Rafter now and Joe McGill, and he's going to have a go for a 2-pointer, and it's the first wide he's hit today, but he's such a pure striker of the ball. That was narrowly wide, as Niall Fitzgerald geeing up his men down below us. So 10 points playing 6. Tip in the deficit by 4. And we have 29 minutes gone here in McGovern Park. Your coverage on Tipp FM with thanks to John Kennedy Motors in Clonmel. So here's Shane Garland. Played in the county final out the field for Kilsheal and Kilcash last year. And now he goes long, looking for Stephen O'Brien. Stephen gets a fist on it, but there's no Tipperary man there for the breaking ball. Instead, it's London who have possession again, looking to launch another attack. and they hand pass it forward. There's a couple of tired looking bodies out there as away comes number 12 Christian Healy. He gets it off to Liam Gallagher, the captain. He plays it short, and it's just outside the 40 metre arc in the left corner of the 40 metre. And coming down the line now is Christian Healy. It could be a goal chance coming here. Oh, what a block that is back there by Owen O'Connell. It could break out for London again, and a brilliant block. I believe it was Owen O'Connell who just threw himself in front of that and possibly stopped a goal for Tipperary. Away comes number 7. London still have possession now, just on the edge of the Tipperary arc, as Daniel Clark has it now, but a huge block back there for Tipperary.
Yeah, it's a good block. Owen O'Connell got his hands onto it or that, but definitely it was an opportunity for London to get in, take a shot for a score for a goal.
And they might have another chance here through Christian Healy and his right boot. He gets in around the back of the Tipperary defence and sends that ball over the bar for what is his second point of the first half. 31 minutes gone, 11 points playing 6, and it's a London lead by 5 now, Fearghal.
Yeah, they're actually scored the last 3 points. I would have said the first 2 were quite, from the soft point of view. That last one, they worked it harder at that, but still the last man, Christian Healy, got on the ball and was able to kick an easy score then uncontested.
So kick out goes short out to the left corner back position. Bringing this ball forward is James Morris, and he's just sauntering up the field, and he gets a really heavy clothesline coming in there by Christian Healy, and the referee might have a word with the wing forward. It was just very, very high impact with that right arm.
Yeah, it was kind of one of these really lazy tackles just coming up before half time.
Yeah.
Just the hand came right in over the shoulder and looked more clumsy than anything else, I think.
Yeah, a forwards tackle, you could say.
Oh, I definitely very much saw that.
So he's going to get himself in the book for that, and he's just kind of down on his hunches. He was the man who got that last point for London, so he's a lot of kilometres notched up in this first half, so that was probably just his reason for that tackle, as Paddy Feehan pumps one long looking for the run of Stephen O'Brien, but it is aimless in terms of the direction it went, and it went out over the sideline, so a line ball out coming for London. So you'd like Tip to get a bit of something going before half time. A dangerous ball played from that line ball all the way back to the corner back, Dara Rooney, who's in a full back position, and he's lost his footing. Has he touched the ball on the ground? He still has possession. Has it been taken off him? Tipperary have won it back, and that is brilliant pressure from the Tipperary defenders, and they've won a free just outside the 21. Dara Rooney just unfortunate to slip at the inopportune time, and that gave the Tipperary forwards a chance to come in and nick the ball off him and eventually win the free.
Yeah, no, it's actually the London played a line ball literally right across the 21, and since the London cornerback was coming out with the ball, and he slipped just as he got to the opposite edge of the D, and Keane Smith pounced on the opportunity then to get the tackle in at that, and they ended up London fouling the ball and getting a free, and after Keane Smith is just after putting it over the bar. So it was a good score there to get. It needed that badly. We probably need another score or two now before half time.
So 11 points to 7, and we have 2 minutes to go before half time, and a poor kick out now has gone straight out over the sideline as Tip look to maybe get something going here, and they're just going to pump one into the edge of the square, and Tip have runners in there. One of them is Stephen O'Brien. Ball bounces off his chest. He has to come back out the field. He has it now to Keane Smith, and he's had the ball nicked away from him as Kyle Deely gets it off the surface now, but he's running into a wall of bodies, and London look to have won it back, and they have so through Daniel Clark. Daniel Clark is fouled high by Keane Smith, and now Kyle Deely, and it's going to be a free out for London, and they take it quickly, but the referee is going to call play back. And you can see Kyle Deely, what he's gesturing to the referee, that his arm was pulled up in the tackle by Daniel Clark, but it looks like Kyle Deely now is going to go into the book.
I'd imagine you get a yellow card for this as well, or that. It was quite something similar to the London last yellow card by Christian Healy. Tackle wasn't as high, but it was around the chest, and it did kind of more or less come back up around the neck. And
well, certainly wasn't as forceful as that last one, as this risky ball played out to the cornerback, who's just very clearly touched that ball on the ground, but I suppose the referee was blindsided from it, and now it's a free in for Tipperary, and it's outside the 45 central position. It could be a chance to have a crack at a 2-pointer if Tip fancy it.
Yeah, I know if Stephen is...
Yeah,
he's standing over us. I think Stephen's going to come in here. Stephen's going to come down and have a go at it. It's probably about just a metre outside the 45, metre and a half outside the 45.
Well, we mentioned how good that strike was for the first free. He kicked that went wide. It was sailing high into the back of the net behind the goals.
I don't think I'd say he definitely should have the distance on that. So this hopefully has the direction on it now this time.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a breeze blowing into him as well, and he's a distance out. So you hope he is able to keep the technique while keeping the power high. So 4 points in the deficit, 11 points playing 7. Here's Stephen O'Brien. A lot of backspin on that. It's hanging up towards the left post. Is it kept in play? It's not. It's gone to the left and wide. 5 first half wides for Tipperary, 2 for London. And we have 35 minutes played. We're into additional time in the first half as London lead by 4. We haven't seen the fourth official board just yet. He's preparing it down below us, so we'll keep an eye out on that. But here comes Andrew Walsh, the goalkeeper for London. Ball on the tee as the sun has gone back in behind the clouds, and it's
1 additional minute at the end of this half.
So 1 additional minute to come here in McGovern Park. As bringing the ball forward is Daniel Clark, and he does well to just brush off the challenge of Charlie King, and a good shoulder goes in there by Joe Higgins, but London do well to retain possession, and they bring it forward now through number 12, Christian Healy. Healy back out to Daniel Clark. Is he going to pop up for a 2-pointer? No, he's going to feint and then try and get around Paddy Feehan. He's forced backwards though, and now it is Liam Gallagher. We saw his 2-pointer last year in Semple Stadium win that game for London. Now he's possession and he plays it short now to number 13, Michael O'Reilly. You can hear the shouts of get out from the Tipperary management down below us, looking for their team to push out and press, and they've done so, but London could be in behind here now. They're up inside the 14. It could be a goal chance coming. It's another block back there by Owen O'Connell. The ball isn't cleared though. London still have it inside the 14. Under pressure is number 7, and he has just knocked the ball back out to Christian Healy, and it's another block over there. This time it's from Joe Higgins, and it's going to go out for a 45, but some real brilliant last ditch defending from Tipperary. It's not the type of defending you'd hope for in terms of it's coming down to that, but some really important interventions back there.
There certainly has been. There's been a lot of ball handling errors, balls being fumbled, you'd be hoping guys to get it more cleaner, holding on to that ball's a bit better. But same Owen O'Connell, exact same block as he saved from probably about 5 minutes ago. London were in and he got the block in, and Joe Higgins had got the second block in to knock it out for 45.
We saw Cathal O'Reilly in Thurles last night, how important some of his blocks were in the first half of that game. And Owen O'Connell has made 2 big ones here, and Joe Higgins got a big one that sent this ball out for a 45. This is going to be taken by Joe McGill. He has scored a 2-pointer and 4 points along with that, so 6 in total as he takes this 45 just left of centre. He slips as he's taking it, but it's still a really good kick, and it's curling an awful lot, but doesn't curl enough. And referee Owen Morrissey even is going to call it at that for the first half. So 11 points to 7 is the half-time score, and it is London who lead by 4. And you'd have to say on the balance of that first half, London probably deserve it of a 4-point lead.
Oh, I think they definitely do that. They moved that ball a little bit better. As I says, when they got in around the 45 up to the 21, they found their men with that little bit more ease and were able to take the score that little bit more at ease, or a bit more handier. Tipperary need to man up more, a bit more in defence, and not give London that much space inside to get their scores. But on the flip side, then Tip did break the ball down and move the ball quickly. We can see what they're capable of doing, getting in and getting their scores and taking their chances of that. Look, there's still a lot to play for that. So we are 4 points at half time now. You have to be, I suppose, reasonably happy. You still have another 35 minutes to go.
And it's by no means a gale force wind or anything like that, but there is a breeze straight down the field that Tip will be playing with in the second half, so you'd imagine Shane Garland's kickouts even might be going that little bit longer too. Yeah,
and I think Shane's kickouts are after improving as the game went on. The first 1 or 2 there were a bit hairy at that. They weren't reaching the 40-metre arc, but I think since those 2 first early kicks, these kickouts have been much better, finding our men. They're nice floaty passes for our half back leg to run onto it. On the flip side, then the London goalkeeper Welch, he's after fumbling about 4 or 5, and they're going short, and the Tip boys are putting pressure on him in that respect. And the last one, he went short of that, but it ended up going out for a line ball and nearly on the 21.
So against the breeze, you'd nearly be pushing up on those kickouts, maybe.
I think definitely saw that. I need to be putting the pressure on the London kickouts now at this stage going forward.
So that is the end of the first half here in McGovern Park in Western London, and it is a 4-point lead for the home side. Tipperary down by 4 at the half. 11 points to 7 is the score. We're going to take a quick ad break here on Tipp FM, and we'll be back with halftime analysis and more after these. Well, you're welcome back to McGovern Park. Paul Carroll with Fearghal McDonnell alongside me, and we have watched the first half of entertaining football in Division 4 of the National Football League, but it is London who have a 4-point advantage over Tipperary at the break. 11 points to 7 is the half-time score. We saw 4 points from Keane Smith in the first half, 2 from Shawnee O'Connor and 1 from the captain Paddy Feehan for London. 6 points by Joe McGill, 2 for Daniel Clark, 2 for Christian Healy. That's their half-forward line, and 1 for their full-forward Shea Rafter, and that's how they've got to 11. 5 wides for Tip in the first half, 3 for London. And Fearghal, before we talk about the game, there's plenty of connections between Tipperary and London over here in the lovely clubhouse. Beforehand, I was talking to a man from Kappa White, Kevin Flynn, and we had a good chat. He's over here since the 60s, and it's a lovely little kind of setup they have in there. And when the rain was falling, you were thinking, God, you could nearly give the day inside in that little pub that they have here in the clubhouse. But lots of connections around the place between Tipperary, and even one of the players on this London team, Conor Redican, number 22 there, I was told by Charlie Evans, the PRO of London, who would have relations in Lockmore Castellini. Jonathan Cullen there, involved with the county board, is an uncle of Charlie Evans. He was telling me that Conor Redican, his grandmother is from Clonmel, so plenty of associations between Tipperary and London.
Yeah, there certainly is, and there's a good Tipperary support here at McGovern Park now as well. I suppose a lot of the people that have moved over, living here in London now, are coming out now and supporting Tipperary, and I suppose a lot more supporting London as well at the same time of that as well. So, you know, some of them might have split loyalties in certain fashions in this case of that, but yeah, no, there's a good turnout of people here. That there's a lot of connections, you know, and I have to mention even one of my own from my own parish at home, Kevin or Ned Fogarty's, we was known back home in Tipperary, that he's part of the London Tipperary Association, and they're kind of sponsoring our afternoon match after the match of that, so big thanks to them for doing that as well at the same time. Yeah,
real fine gesture, of course, and loads to talk about in terms of Tipperary football. We couldn't get to everything before the throw-in, of course, because the minute silence and the game starting so quick, but we probably can't let this broadcast go, Fearghal, without mentioning, of course, that the last time we done a competitive game for Tipperary was against Leitrim last year. Philly Ryan was standing on the sidelines for Tipperary then. None of us would have predicted that we'd be here today without Philly, and you know, it just goes without saying, and something you kind of really want to get into the broadcast is just that Philly will never be forgotten, and as Tip football continues on, it continues on with the hole left behind by the absence of Philly Ryan.
Certainly is. You know, you look at so I want to say the circumstances, but you know, the time, and you know, you don't expect things like this to happen, and it's just, it did leave a massive hole. Like, Philly gave his whole life to Tipperary football, not just to Clonmel but to Tipperary as well at the same time of that. Looking, he was our manager at the time of his passing, you know, so it did leave an awful hole, an awful sadness at the time of that, you know, so his memory will always remembered for the work he's done for Tipperary football, and especially down in Clonmel, for he's done for Clonmel Commercials as well down through the years. Yeah,
and I'm sure he's looking down a happy man after the game yesterday in Kilmallock, where High School Clonmel got a huge win in the Kearney-Vurry semi-final against Presentation Milltown, a Kerry school, into the Kearney-Vurry final. That's the Hearty Cup of football if you're maybe from the north of the county and you hadn't heard of the Kearney-Vurry, but it's the Munster Senior A football, and to have a Tipperary school in the final is a huge achievement.
No, it is a massive achievement. No, it's absolutely fabulous game. Some second half to overcome Milltown. You know,
1-8 to 5 points down at half time.
5 down at half time of that, and he came back and they won at
110 to 1-8.
1-8. They kept Milltown scoreless in the second half. You know, 2016 was the last time Clonmel High School were in the final. But as one of the Kerry commentators says, they were met by St Brennan's of Clarny.
Yeah, who had some lad on the team called David Clifford.
Somebody's fella by the name of David Clifford, as your man says. Clonmel Commercials were the only team to get a hiding from David Clifford. So, you know, so look, I think they have a fine settled team. Paddy O'Gorman, David Power. Apologies, don't forget the third man's name that's involved in the former Tip hurler as well, or that played underage for Tip. They've done a lot of work this year now, and they're there in merit.
Yeah.
They've bet 3 Kerry schools and a Cork school as well on the way to get to the finals. So, you know, there's pedigree in the team. They are playing some lovely football, or that, and moving the ball well. And we won't have to mention as well, they have 2 or 3 fellas from the water, from the Nair on the team as well of that, so it's not just all solely Tipperary players as well at the same time.
Yeah, but it's brilliant to see an Abbey CBS into the B Munster Under-19 football final as well, which is a huge achievement and a great sign for where things are going for Tipperary football. So some positive news for Tipperary. Speaking of David Power, he takes his Tipperary senior ladies footballers down to Enniscorthy to play Wexford, 2 o'clock throw-in in that. Davin and Co will keep you up to date on how that game is going throughout the afternoon here on Tipp FM. But here in McGovern Park, it is half-time of this National Football League Division 4 encounter. It's London 11 points, Tipperary 7. We're going to bring you the second half live after these. Well, you're very welcome back to McGovern Park. Paul Carroll with Fearghal McDonnell alongside me. And it is still half-time of this National Football League Division 4 opener. Round 1, London lead Tipperary 11 points to 7. Now, excuse me, I was enjoying some half-time Harry balls there that I've just gotten rid of as that ad break came to a conclusion. Let's look at the Tipperary bench, because surely going to have an impact in this second half. A lot of lads, a lot of young fellas in terms of Killian Butler, Micheál Freeney still a young player, Paddy O'Keefe, Micheál Freeney, as I mentioned. There is some options there with Mark Stokes as well on the bench alongside Michael Barlow and Mark Corker and Emmett Maloney. Mix of experience, mix of youth, but options there for an Al Fitzgerald.
Yeah, no, definitely has a bit of option to come in off the bench. You have Killian Butler there to come in, Micheál Freeney, who had a real impact last year, his first year back in. Mark Stokes as well. I don't think there was anything too major wrong with Mark Stokes. It might have been just a tactical move to get Stephen O'Brien back onto the field and get him to start after missing so much of a true injury over the last few years. So there's definitely options there. You have Emmett Maloney, McFadden as well. 2 guys have loads of experience operating in the defence as well.
So we're waiting for the teams to come back on for the second half. Someone who's a very exciting prospect in Tip football is Dahi Hogan. You can see when he gets the ball, he's just lightning quick, and he has that real kind of pace that puts the defence in kind of a worried state of mind, because he can get in around behind you and he's gone. You're not going to be able to catch him. So Tip will try their best, I suppose, to try and get him on a little bit more ball, because he wasn't that prominent in that first half.
Yeah, no, he needs. I don't think the ground suits him in many respects, because he has a quick turn of pace.
Yeah.
And he's quick turning. Unfortunately, every time he goes for a quick turn on the soft ground, he's losing his footing. Yeah, so hopefully, if we get a bit more firmer ground, you will see him come to more explode into life for that. So, but yeah, he's a dangerous player. If he gets on the ball, opens up his lightning pace, he'll take on the defenders of that. If he gets in behind him, he's able to get in and get him one-on-one, and hopefully be able to take his score, pop his score that, or even get him for a goal.
So London are back out onto the field. No half-time substitutions for them as we await Tipperary to re-emerge, as Owen Morrissey's patience has been tested. You'd imagine he's probably in a bit of a rush, like most of us here, to get to Heathrow after the game. So he won't want Tipperary waiting around too long in the dressing rooms down beneath us. So no half-time substitutions, and the jerseys all remain the same. Green jerseys, white shorts, white numbers on the back for London, and Tipperary in the blue and gold with the white shorts as well, white numbers on the back. And we await Tipperary to come out for half-time. But a big second half to come now, because Tip have 4 home games, 3 away. If you could get something from the away games, it would be a huge boost. And to start off with a win of any sort would be huge for Tipperary. But they've a lot of work to do, 4 points down at half-time.
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, this is the opening game of that, and we're away here to London. In the past, you would have said that was a gimme. It's far from a gimme anymore. Wicklow came here last year as well, and they got overturned in the very first game as well. So look, it is all to play for here. Look, London are moving the ball exceptionally well. I would like to see our defence just tighten up and not give them so many kind of more easier options to get their shots away for getting their scores. Tip need to take the game now to London. Push up in their kick-outs, get in, get their scores away. Look, and to be patient as well. Look, when the break is on, they're able to move it. But you can see there are stages when London got their defence back into position. Tip kind of slowed it down, took their time, didn't panic, and unfortunately, any time they did go to make that break, they kind of lost their foot and set, and then they have to reset again and go again. So Tipper have re-emerged and are out in the field, lined up, ready to go. No half-time substitutions on either side. Tip playing from right to left as we look out onto the field, and playing from left to right
is London. Referee Owen Morrissey throws the ball high up into the sky. It's batted down strongly by Joe Higgins as far as Owen Craddock. Craddock now just does well to retain possession, get a hand pass away to Luke Boland. Right in front of us now, Luke takes a really high solo, puts himself under a lot of pressure. He's been pulled and dragged back. He's going to take the solo and go, and he's going to be forced backwards. I think he just took that solo before that free was given, so it goes back to Owen Craddock. So here we go, Tipperary in possession now. Back it goes to Paddy Feehan. He's got loads of time and space to bring this ball forward and spray it over to Kieran Costello. Thurles Sarsfield's club man, will be playing senior football with his club later this year, as he hand passed it forward to Dahi Hogan on that far side. Sorry, it's not Dahi, it's Charlie King instead. Charlie sprays it to Paddy Feehan. Paddy now back to Luke Boland, standing on the 45 of the London half of the field. Gets a hand pass short to Stephen O'Brien, and now Luke continues his run, gets the 1-2, gives it off now to Dahi Hogan. Dahi throws up a lovely dummy on his right boot, kicks it high. Dahi Hogan sails it over the bar. His first score for Tipperary in 2026 for Dahi Hogan, and the St. Patrick's man gets the first score of the second half. Tipperary now with the 8 point of the game. They're still down by 3, but a brilliant score there by Dahi Hogan.
Yeah, no, I thought he got it. It says he got on the ball, he took on his man, got in behind him. I thought he slightly undercooked the kick, but it did go over the bar.
Kick out goes long, and it hangs in the sky down on top of number 5, Conor Goggin. Stephen O'Brien wasn't aware of Goggin's presence behind him, and nearly kind of let him jump up and win that ball. So away comes London now. The clock down to our right gives the time of day rather than the time of the match, so 13:56 is what it reads. So we'll expect the game to end at around 2:30. So away comes London now, number 6, that is Conall Gallagher. Gallagher brings it forward now. Short hand pass to Ty Barry on the far side of the field as London launch their first attack of the second half. They're in around Tipperary now. They're up to the 21. It's a shooting chance. It's a poor strike there. A little bit off balance was Christian Healy, almost running too fast to get a clean strike on the ball away. So it dropped into the hands of Shane Garland, and now Paddy Feehan is tackled as he's coming out with the ball. Tipperary take it quick and been pulled and dragged back there, and that free is going to be brought up.
Brought up 50 metres.
And it's going to be brought up, 50 metres. It was number 5 there, Conor Goggin, who just about 5 yards away from the referee pulled back Tipperary as they were trying to take that free. So it has been brought up. Gets a shout from one of the London supporters, but that was as pretty much Stonewall as Stonewall can be, and it's 1-on-1 now, and Dahi Hogan is in around the back. Dahi Hogan, can he get a goal chance away? He's going to fist it instead. It's high off the post, unfortunately, and away comes London, and that was the threat of Dahi Hogan. 1-on-1 ball into him, and he absolutely burned his man in around the back, and his fisted effort comes high off the post as his man done well to recover, and away comes London now, surging up through the middle of the field, through number 5, Goggin. He sends it forward with the left boot now. Good, strong, tight defending by Jack Harney as Tipperary try and win it off the ground by Kieran Costello. It's touched on the ground by the London man. Not so sure about that as James Morris takes the tap and go. There's a injection of pace into this game, and a man who has a bunch of pace is Dahi Hogan. He runs out to gather this ball on the edge of the 21 out on the sideline on this near side. He gets it, retains possession, plays it back to Owen Craddock, and Craddock now to Kieran Costello, puts it into the middle of the field as far as Paddy Feehan. So 11 points to 8 it remains. We've 3 minutes played in the second half here, and your coverage on Tipp FM with thanks to John Kennedy Motors in Clonmel. Hand pass goes forward now as far as Charlie King. Tip are playing with an advantage, and it might come back for that free. It is going to come back for a free, and the advantage didn't accrue, so it is going to come back for that free. So it's going to be a 2-point attempt, and it is going to be, looks like Shawnee O'Connor possibly taking this. So Shawnee usually likes to kick from his hands, so this is a long ways out though. Let's see, he's going to go from the hands, yeah. So he's out, yeah, it's just outside the 40-metre arc, and there's a good bit left of the centre of the goals. So it opens it up for a right-footed kicker. We're going to get a really, really good view of this as we see the red brick estates behind the goals here down to our left-hand side. Here's Shawnee now with the right boot, kicks it high, it's accurate. Oh, what a score by Shawnee O'Connor, a 2-pointer Tipperary, and now it's back to a 1-point game. 11 points playing 10. Really important score for Tip and for Shawnee O'Connor.
Yeah, no, it was excellent score by Shawnee, and it was good movement that led to that as well, or that, and I think it was Kieran Costello. He was moving forward, and Eman Shepherd kind of pulled him down, and he got the free even though he hadn't the ball in his hand at the time.
So kick out to come down to our left hand side now as a little bit of rain looks to be falling out there on the field, maybe just a little bit, as Andrew Walsh sends his kick out long. It hangs up in the air a little bit now, and Paddy Feehan does really, really well to win it, and he's challenged hard after the free was already given, and the referee is really particular about exactly where these frees are being taken.
Yeah.
Tip had taken it too far back, so didn't even get any advantage from that. They just wanted to play it quickly, but had to be brought back to the right position. Now Tip are on the attack. What a run this is from Charlie King. He's up to the 14, spinning, and he's just off balance as his effort drops into the hands of the goalkeeper Andrew Walsh, who puts himself under a little bit of pressure, loses footing, and just releases the ball in time. But Tip now doing their best to try and overturn London. And London, in fairness to them, do well through Conall Gallagher to get out of that cluster of Tipperary attackers that were trying to win the ball back. And now London are up to the Tipperary 65, and they spray a ball to the far side of the field to number 7, Conor O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue now is able to bring this ball all the way up to the 21. He's looking to try and get a hand pass away, and he does so, and it could open up for Liam Gallagher. He's inside the 14. Goal chance saved by Shane Garland. The ball is still there though. Ty Barry has it, and it's still there for London now as they're forced back out. It could just be a point attempt coming, and that's come high off the post. And incredibly, Tipperary might leave this with ball in hand, and they do, and they haven't conceded. And now Shawnee O'Connor is in acres of space between the two 65s, and sprinting as fast as he can to try and catch him is number 15, Jim Davis. He's not going to catch him though. Shawnee's up to the 21. He has a spare man over there. It's Dai Hogan, and Dai Hogan is off the post again, but it's Stephen O'Brien onto the break. He gets it back to Shawnee O'Connor, and Shawnee from close range has put it to the left and wide. And what a passage of play that was, one end of the field to the other. Shane Garland with a big save down at one end. Dai Hogan's fisted attempt goes off the post, drops to Stephen O'Brien. He plays it to Shawnee O'Connor inside the 14. A lot of players around him, and he kicks it wide. And you see a lot of players now with their hands on their knees after that possession. That was up and down the field, and incredibly neither team scored.
No, London hit the post at the opposite end. We won the ball back and came back, and very quick move up the field. Shawnee O'Connor made a long run from our own halfway line right up to the 21, passed the ball off to Dottie Hogan, was coming in off the left hand side and fisted it, but unfortunately the fisted pass came back off the post, and unfortunately Stephen got it. He got blocked down and straight back into Shawnee O'Connor, and unfortunately easy enough chance nearly in front of the post, just clipped it left to the post and wide. Yeah,
just under so much pressure when that ball came to me. Had to get rid of it quick, but London are on the attack now, and they could have an overlap here. Could be a goal chance. Instead they go with the point, and it's sent over the bar over on that far side of the field by number 7, Conor O'Donoghue. He's got up and down the field well here today. That's London's first score of the second half, and it is 12 points playing 10.
Yeah, it was a good score for London North, especially to get the response after the last set of players after missing the score the last time themselves.
Kick out by Jim, taken by James Morris. It was a good kick out by Shane Garland. Micheál Freeney preparing himself to come on. Here's Stephen O'Brien now. There could be an overlap there for Shawnee O'Connor if Stephen can get it to him. Stephen is going to go for the 2-pointer. Is it going to curl enough? It's long enough. It's just to the right and wide, marginally so. There's a good run made there by Shawnee O'Connor, but Stephen went with the 2-pointer, and just to the right and wide. It remains 12 points to 10, 7 minutes into the second half. Kick out goes out to the 40-metre arc, just to the full back, and he gets a risky hand pass away, and Tipperary have overturned it through Shawnee O'Connor, and he's just hit late by the centre back, that is Conall Gallagher, much to the ire of the defenders here from the supporters here of London. But it is going to be a free in for Tipperary. Tipperary are doing better here in this second half, but you'd like a few more scores to go over, and it looks like they're looking to Micheál Freeney to try and do that. Yeah, no, they've definitely upped the tempo for the start of the second half of that. There was a stray ball. Sean O'Connor away from the ball, but there was a stray hand coming in from the defender, and he kind of got it right across the brow, we could say that. So does Micheál Freeney coming onto the field now in place of Cathal Deely. So Deely now makes his way off, and on comes Freeney. Freeney with a real memorable score in the county championship last year against Lockmore Castellini in that semi-final in Cashel, that 2-pointer to win that game at the very dead for Kilsheal and Kilcash, as Cathal Deely is greeted by Niall Fitzgerald and the Tipperary supporters. A risky free taken there by Paddy Feehan, and Tip have lost possession, and Paddy Feehan puts in a real heavy challenge there as well, so he might find himself in the book. Luke Boland is also worse for wear. Referee Owen Morrissey is just doing his best to just calm things down, and in fairness to him, he kind of speaks to the players fairly well. So now if it's not happy with Paddy Feehan with his, I suppose, selection of passing from that free.
Yeah, this is probably a small bit of a game where you have to tidy up. It was a short pass, but the ball didn't go to hand. It got fumbled, and London came in, and rightly too, to come in and challenge it. And the ball broke, and I think the London centre back definitely had his hand on the ball, but Paddy Feehan just came in and was probably a bit more aggressive, trying to get to to put the tackle on him and upended him.
Yeah, ran straight into him at full speed. So Conal Gallagher fortunately is up on his feet and okay to continue. So it is going to be a free out for London on their own 45, central position. Conal Gallagher looking for options now as Tipperary try to get something going. It's a loose pass played though as Keane Smith wins it back for Tipperary, and he gets it fisted out of his hands brilliantly by Liam Gallagher, and London have won it back and they send it long now. There's helter-skelter stuff now in the last kind of few minutes in terms of the possession and how the ball has been played from one end of the field to the other, but London have it now inside the Tipperary 45, 12 points playing 10. London lead by 2. We have just under 10 minutes gone in the second half, so still plenty of time for Tipperary, but London on the attack, and they have it now just outside the edge of the Tipperary D, and it could be a shooting chance here for Daniel Clark. Real comfortable player in possession, cuts back onto his left, and that is a really, really fine score for the centre forward for London, Daniel Clark. And that half forward line of McGill, Clark and Healy has been causing Tipperary a lot of trouble here.
They really have caused Tipperary a lot of trouble. They're able to get onto the ball with that bit more ease and find the space to get their shot away, to get their scores.
So kick out to come now by Shane Garland. Puts the boot through it and goes long, but it's to a London man, but fortunately it goes through his hands but breaks off a couple of bodies, and London retain possession again, and they go through the hands now. Right in front of us between the 265s is the number 9 Ty Barry, and he gives it a short hand pass here to number 13 Michael O'Reilly. He scored 2 goals in the London County final late last year in October, and away comes number 15. Now losing his footing there was Jim Davis, but he retains possession and gives it off to Daniel Clark, so comfortable running with the ball while soloing, and he gives a short hand pass now to O'Reilly. Just operating outside the Tipperary 40 metre arc are London, 13 points playing 10. We have just under 25 minutes to go here as Tip need to get hand on ball, but they need to be disciplined too and not leave gaps in behind. But London looking really, really good at the minute as they give it off to their captain, Liam Gallagher, as he brings the ball forward now and is forced backwards by Charlie King. Charlie King borderline being fouled off the ball there by number 12, but he did well to not make it too obvious as he was just screening off Charlie King. Here is number 12 now, Christian Healy. He's been urged to go and take people on here by the London supporters. Gives it off to Shea Rafter. Shea Rafter cuts one way, cuts the other. Forced back again. Tip defending well as Tip looked to number 24 Jack O'Neill to come onto the field. Not just yet, as Tipperary have won the ball back over there. The Ballina duo of Charlie King and Stephen O'Brien combining, and it's Micheál Freeney all the way back in a half-back position as he loses his footing in the tackle, and now he loses possession, and away comes London. And London are going to get a shot on goal, you feel, here from Daniel Clark with his left boot, and he just sliced across that, and it is going to go to the left and wide, and that's fortunate for Tipperary because Freeney just lost possession at the wrong time. Substitution now, Paddy Feehan is being replaced by number 24 Jack O'Neill. So on comes Jack O'Neill, off goes Paddy Feehan, and I suppose maybe a little bit of a surprise substitution there.
It probably is that, but no, in fairness, Paddy's after putting in a big shift. He's after getting up and down the field and got his early score in the first half as well, or that, and I think it was probably after the last tackle. It was kind of a real tired tackle or that, and I'm sure all the players have the GPS systems on them, so they're at the clock how many kilometres they're after doing on the field.
Tipperary had just won that ball, but Stephen O'Brien ran out of room over on that far sideline, so it has gone out for a line ball to London as they play it back to the full-back, and he sprays it out to this near side. So we're just 13 minutes gone in the second half, and it is 13 points playing 10. London lead by 3, and bringing the ball forward now in front of us is number 9 Ty Barry. Hand pass it forward to number 10 Joe McGill, and he hand passes it forward again as London bring it up inside the Tipperary 40 metre arc, get it off to Joe McGill. He's put under good pressure, he's forced backwards, and now it's Shea Rafter who hand passes it in the field, and there's a bit of space in there for Michael O'Reilly, He's held up by Owen O'Connell really well by the Lockmore Castellini man. He does really well, but the hand pass goes off and it could be a goal chance here for London. Oh, it's just fisted over the crossbar from close range by Shea Rafter. The referee has blown his whistle. He has spotted something there. A hand pass, a player running down the line, hand passed it infield, and on the edge of the square, barreling towards the goals, was, I believe, the full forward Shea Rafter, and his fisted effort just goes over the crossbar. But the referee is going in, I think, to have a word with his umpires. He hasn't made any signal, so
I think it's just James Morris went for the ball as well at the same time, and the two players collided with each other. So I don't think there was anything too malice in it. It's just checking on the.
So we've a substitution coming on here.
For London, 26, Kieran Div replaces 15, Jim Davis.
It was actually Kieran Costello that went for that last ball who took the knock.
So on comes number 26, Kieran Diver, as it was pronounced there, D-I-V-E-R. He's coming on for number 15, Jim Davis. And Jim Davis getting a good reception by the London supporters, as Tipperary are also looking to Paddy O'Keefe. The Moy Rovers man will be making his debut, and he's ready to come onto the field. Not just yet though, as the kick out from Shane Garland, and he's going to find Charlie King. Charlie King calls the mark, but he's been under pressure, but he calls the mark nonetheless, and here comes Tipperary. So 14 points playing 10, 15 minutes into the second half now, as Owen O'Connell kicks this forward to Owen Craddock. Craddock now on the far side of the field is going to kick this ball into the full forward line in as far as Keane Smith. He has it now out in front of his man, but he's a long distance from goals. He's up to the 21 though, out near the sideline on the far side of the field. He's cutting one way, cutting the other, gets it off to Dahi Hogan. Back out it goes to Craddock and back to Dahi now. Dahi goes back to James Morris. Morris hand passes it back now to Jack O'Neill. The Ardfinnan man with the right boot goes short to Joe Higgins. The towering midfielder brings this ball forward, and he has the run of Charlie King in front of him. King now forced back out the field, finds Shawnee O'Connor. Shawnee O'Connor going to give it to Jack O'Neill, and Tip retaining possession but making no inroads into this London defence so far, as the scoreboard remains 14 points to 10. It's a 4-point lead for London. They led by 4 at the half, and away comes Keane Smith now and Charlie King. Charlie King inside the 45, throws a little bit of a dummy. He's up inside the 21 with the left boot. Is it going to be enough? It's stopped by the goalkeeper, and he's fouled in the air, and it is going to be a free out for London. The ball ended up in the back of the net, but goalkeeper was fouled by Stephen O'Brien, quite obviously, as Paddy O'Keefe looks ready to come on. Stephen O'Brien is protesting with the referee, and here comes that substitution, and it is Stephen O'Brien who's coming off, and on comes number 25 Paddy O'Keefe, a debut for him, and he's a real exciting prospect.
Yeah, Paddy definitely has loads of potential on that. Look, Paddy's on form. He's able to get in, take his scores of that, and able to get in, get sniff out a goal as well at the same time with that. So look, let's hope Paddy's able to get on 1 or 2 balls and show what he's capable of doing.
It's a very young Tipperary team out there now, as this ball has been kicked out by the goalkeeper Andrew Walsh, and it was a really, really good free. It was a free on his own goal line, which can often be difficult in football to find that spare man, but he punted it about 50 yards down the field straight into the chest of a London player, and now London are looking to launch another attack through Joe McGill. He brings it up to the edge of the 40-metre arc, and he hand passes it forward now inside the 21 in the corner position to Michael O'Reilly. He's trying to take on the Tipperary defence, and he's in behind now, and he's fouled. He has a goal chance. Oh, and he's lettered it off the post. Oh, that was almost a worldie of a goal by Michael O'Reilly. It's going to come back for a free. He had 2 men on him. It didn't look like he was going to be able to get enough space to swing a right boot at it, but he certainly did, and it lettered the post. Fortunately for Tipperary, they keep the clean sheet intact, but it's going to be a 5-point lead now for London with just over 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, from a Tipperary point of view, like, he kind of got in there too easily, coming in on from the right hand side along the 13-metre line, and came straight in and got in into this large rectangular and sidestepped 2 players and got his shot away. But he had got the ref had given an advantage for him. He's got a slight pull back beforehand.
So Shea Rafter kicks over the close range free from the 14-yard line, and now it is 15 points playing 10, and something needs to happen, and it needs to happen fairly quickly now for Tipperary, Fearghal.
Yeah, definitely it is. It's going to be the next big 15 minutes now coming up for Tipperary. That they really need to get a score or 2 on the board now to keep in touch of that. London are after getting the last few scores.
Shane Garland, nothing really on for the kick out, so he just has to boot it long and hope for the best, and it does break to Kieran Costello. he goes back to field now as Tipperary probably need to just attack a little bit quicker now. We saw the quick attacks in the first half, but it's just slowed down a little bit now as they go backwards before they go forwards, and now they are going forwards, and they've got it as far as Keane Smith on the far side of the field. He plays it infield towards Dai Hogan, and Dai Hogan has it out in front of his man, and James Morris continues his run. James Morris with the right boot kicks it high and kicks it over the bar. Brilliant score. Keane Smith into Dai Hogan, into James Morris, and over the bar, and that's what we want to see from Tipperary.
That's definitely, it was a good move. Look, and there were moves that could actually lead up to a goal at some stage down the road or that, but I think James did the right option and take the score and got the point.
So it's a kick out coming now from Andrew Walsh down to our left hand side. He's going to put the boot through it as he sends this long between the 265s. It's up there to be won, and it's been won in the air by Joe Higgins. He wins it, and he calls the mark, and his arm was pulled, so the ball dropped to the ground, but he wins it now. And here's a quick ball in from Owen Craddock as far as Dai Hogan. He's going to try and take his man on down the line, gives it back out to Shawnee O'Connor, who's in 2-point range. He is going to go for a 2-pointer. Shawnee, is it going to curl in?
Yes.
Oh, what a score by Shawnee O'Connor, his second 2-pointer. That was a catch and shoot out of nowhere, and just like that, it's back to a 1-point game. 15 points playing 14, and a brilliant score there by Shawnee O'Connor. 15 points playing 13.
It was a great score by Shawnee O'Connor. He had literally a split second to set himself to have the shot, and he was well out near the sideline, right on the arc of that when he took his shot.
And he just had no time to take a run up whatsoever. He just caught that shot with the right boot, and it sailed over the bar. But London have possession. It's still a 2-point lead for the home side here, and it's their number 26, Kieran Diver, who has it now. He's inside the 45, short hand pass, and it could open it up for Christian Healy here. He's got bags of pace, and he's up to the 21 with the right boot. Kicks this high, kisses off the post and over the bar. His third point of the day. It was high off the post, but came in off the left upright and over the crossbar, and it's 16 points playing 13, and again it's that half forward line.
It is. Their London half forward line will be very prominent altogether. That short kick out, but it's worked out well for Tipperary.
Shane Garland gets it. You hear the ooze from the crowd there. That was the corner forward Michael O'Reilly. Completely lost his footing and slid onto his backside. It looked a sore one, but he's up and continuing his run as Tipperary bring the ball down the line. Jack O'Neill has it now as far as Shawnee O'Connor. Shawnee up to the 21 with the right boot, and Shawnee O'Connor has got another one. He's become a real leader for Tipperary in the last few years, and he's fist bumping towards his teammates. And Shawnee O'Connor with the county on his back here in the second half.
He received the ball in a similar position from the last score, but he stepped inside, took it on 2 or 3 steps, and then popped it over the bar. It was a great score by Shawnee O'Connor. It was actually a 2-point game now again.
Yeah, 16 points playing 14. We just have about 15 minutes of total play time left as this kick out is won by London in the middle of the field. Liam Gallagher, and it's starting to open up now. It's a 1v1. Shea Rafter looking to take on Jack Harney, cuts back in on his left and puts it high over the bar. You kind of felt that was coming. He's a left footer. He's real comfortable. He tried to take on Jack Harney down the outside, cut back in onto his left and put it over the bar. But you can see the game opening up now. Fearghal back to a 3-point lead. Yeah,
we need to be a bit more alert on our back line or that. We're coughing up too many easy scores of that. We're going getting onto too many easy balls, as I was saying earlier. If it was their downfall on today's game, that's one point I would have probably pointed out at that. But look, I have not to be criticise them too much. Look, they're a very young team. This is going to be a good learning curve for them as well going forward.
Kick out goes long. Good handle there by Joe Higgins. Knocks it down to James Morris. And now away comes Paddy O'Keefe. Bounces one into Dahi Hogan. Hogan has it now, looking to take on his man. James Morris has continued his run. Left corner flag position. Dahi Hogan has made his man fall twice now as he gives it back out to Shawnee. He's going to go for another 2-pointer. He kicks it high. Is it going to hold its line? Yes, it is. A third 2-pointer of the game for Shawnee O'Connor. And that is 9 points for him today, and it's back to a 1-point game. 17 points playing 16, and it's again that man Shawnee O'Connor.
Yeah, very similar again. Shawnee didn't take so much time to steady himself right on the arc and pull the trigger, and lovely another 2 points for Sean or that. It really brought us back into a now 1-point game.
And London looking to their bench. They're going to bring on number 19 Kieran McKeown, and he's going to be coming on for Conor O'Donoghue. I mentioned Conor O'Donoghue, the wing back, the number 7. He was up and down the field all day, so his race is run here, and on comes number 19 Kieran McKeown as London look to try and get another good result here in McGovern Park. We mentioned they beat Wicklow here last year in the league. They did lose to Limerick by 8 points, but of course Limerick went on to that Tailteann Cup final to show their class last year, and they only lost to Longford and Carroll by a point here last year. So very strong in McGovern Park. And Tipperary are down by a point at the minute. 17 points playing 16. The kick out goes short as Tipperary have pushed up on this kick out and forced London into a few difficult passes. And now they've given a turnover, and it's straight to Keane Smith. He's blocked down brilliantly. Franey has it now. Gives it back out to Paddy O'Keefe. Paddy O'Keefe has a loose hand pass, and it goes straight to number 5, Charlie King. And Tip have won it back. Charlie King seems to have cramped up there, as he's down holding his right hamstring. So on comes the physios for him. But the play is going to continue over in the far corner flag position, and it is Keane Smith in possession. So hopefully Charlie King, hopefully it is just cramp. He looks to be in a bit of discomfort down there. But play is going to continue, and Tip have possession of the ball. Just over 10 minutes to go. And looks like it is just cramp, thankfully, as he's been stretched out by a physio down there. But here's Paddy O'Keefe operating just outside the 45. Hand pass goes short. Here's Micheál Franey. Franey's been told to carry the ball, and he does so, and he pops a hand pass off to Daiho, who just comes onto the ball at full speed all the time. Tip will probably have to prepare a substitute. Now it's going to be another 2-pointer from Shawnee, and it's just to the left and wide, and he's been told to relax by Niall Fitzgerald. And now it looks like Charlie King will likely be replaced here, you'd imagine, and it looks like Mark Stokes is the man to come on.
I don't think Charlie will appreciate the pass he got from Paddy O'Keefe there before that.
Yeah, really hung it up, and he had to wait for it.
A lot of pressure to win the ball back for that.
Loose kick out again now puts number 19 under pressure. He's under a lot of pressure. He's stuck on the ground with the ball. Tip have it back now, and they could be in behind towards Keane Smith. The hand pass has just gone too far. He's had to just keep it in play, soccer style. It is going to go out for a 45, so Tipperary are going to come away from that attack with something. But a kick out right at the ankles of number 19, McKeown, who's just on. And now we hear that Tipperary substitution. Mark Stokes is on for Charlie King. So Mark Stokes loves to run forward with the ball, real good ball carrier, and he can offer a lot here in these last 10 minutes.
I think, this is probably ideal time now for Mark Stokes to come in. He's plenty of energy, he's plenty of legs on him now, nice and fresh coming in. And he's a player that's able to get in and get pop the score as well when he gets into that range.
And a fine debut for Charlie King as he makes his way off.
No, in fairness, Charlie did nothing wrong today. It was a nice steady game or that. He couldn't fault any of the Tipperary boys down today or that. It was different conditions, just the underfoot conditions now was a bit difficult for some of them, but you have to give credit to all of them.
So here's Shane Garland now looking to level the game. We've just over 8 minutes to go from the 45, halfway between the middle of the field and the far sideline. So here he goes with the right boot. It's a good strike. It's going to be landing in around the edge of the square, and the fullback is there, Matt Moynihan. He wins it and hand passes it out. And away comes Moynihan again. Another hand pass from him. Goes to Ty Barry. He's tackled strong there by Luke Boland. And they've both ended up on the ground. They've both helped each other up as play continues between the two 65s. London coming forward, but a brilliant win there by Keane Smith to win the ball back. And now Luke Boland loses it in the tackle to number 11, Daniel Clark. And London have it back again. After that was such a good intervention there by Keane Smith. Just unfortunately, Luke Boland was pickpocketed from behind, and London have retained possession. London lead by 1, 17 points playing 16 in this Division 4 National Football League game live here in London in McGovern Park. Players are losing their footing left, right and centre here as Joe McGill has it now. He sprays it over to the far side of the field to number 19, the man that come on there. That's Kieran McKeown. McKeown has it now. And he's looking for options as the game has just gone into a little bit of a lull, as all the players are very tired out there trying to get their breath back, and no one wants to take too many risks with the ball in possession from a London point of view, as they have it now through Christian Healy. He's had a real fine game, 3 points for the number 12, and he has it now. Bit of black strapping on his right calf does the number 12 have, but he's gives off to his centre back Conal Gallagher. But Tipperary now have not had the ball for quite a while. This has been a long passage of play for London without making any inroads, but their clock is continuing to wind down as London lead by 1, and now a bit of space is opened up for him now, and there could be a bit of space in behind for Daniel Clark. He's not the man Tipperary want in possession, because that's what he'll do. He'll get his 4th point of the game, and now it's back to a 2-point lead for London as they make another substitution. It is number
good steady build up a play by London or that, and I said found their men and get inside the D of that, and their centre forward popped over a nice score, Daniel Clark.
Now substitution, off goes centre back Conal Gallagher, and on comes number 23 Joshua Obaher, and it is a kick out coming out for Shane Garland. So about 6-7 minutes to go, and it is a kick out coming from Shane Garland. It's a risky one to Jack Harney, but it is absolutely pinpoint from Shane Garland, and Tipperary go through the hands to James Morris, using his athletic ability very well, gives it off to Kieran Costello. James Morris is pulled up with a hamstring, it looks like, as the ball is played towards Dahi Hogan. Dahi Hogan throws up a dummy. He needs to get a hand pass away. He does so as far as Owen Craddock. Craddock now is going to give it back out to James Morris, who's back up on his feet, thankfully. So hopefully nothing too serious for James, but he needs support now. He needs a run being met off him, and he does get it away, and he gets it away over on the far side now to Mark Stokes, as James Morris really testing himself out on the field. It looks like he might need to be substituted if Tipperary can afford to get someone on the field as quickly as possible. But here is James Morris now, centre forward position, as London sit back into a defensive shell as Paddy O'Keefe brings it forward. Is he going to attempt a two-pointer? He's up to the edge of the 40-metre arc, and he gives it off to Shawnee O'Connor. Shawnee faked it, and now Shawnee's going to, looks like he's been held there, looks like he's been pulled back a number of times. He's still going though. Shawnee 1-2. Shawnee, is he going to score? Oh, he's been fouled. Surely he's not. It's been blocked inside the 14. It looked like a diving block from one of the London defenders. Just as Shawnee was about to pull the trigger, the ball knocked off his toe at the last moment, and it seemed to be a clean tackle. Shawnee O'Connor not complaining. What a defensive interception that was.
It was. That was definitely one you'd love to be able to look back on a replay of that, but first glance, probably from our point of view, was thought he was fouled. He was going through and he was inside in the large square.
Well, it looked like he was certainly fouled before he got the shot away, in terms of while he was breaking through the tackles, but there was no advantage given, and now London are on the attack, and they're up to the edge of the 21 now, and it's this man again, number 11, Daniel Clark, and he has put that over the bar. His 5th point of the game, as London now back into a 3-point lead. We just have about 5 minutes to go, and it's going to take something special now for Tipperary.
It certainly is. There's a lot of tight bodies out there now. You can see a lot of the Tipperary players are really starting to feel the pinch of the last 5 minutes.
So kick out to come by Shane Garland. He's hit a few good ones today. Now he's going to go as long as he can, and with the right boot he goes long into the middle of the field, and he's looking for Micheál Freeney. It comes off his fist though, and retaining possession are London, and this spells bad news for Tipperary, because they can't get scores if they don't have the ball, and they don't have the ball, and they mightn't have it for a few minutes here if London can play it around, and they do, and they have it now after their captain Liam Gallagher. Gallagher sprays it over to the far side of the field, and Tipperary have just to watch on as Daniel Clark wins another ball, gets it off to Christian Healy. Healy now taking on a couple of defenders, and he's going to be up to the 21, gives it off to Daniel Clark. If there's an extra pass, there could be a goal on. Instead, Daniel Clark is going to put it over for his 6th point of the game. We've said it has been this half forward line for London. They've got 6 points from Joe McGill, 6 points from Daniel Clark, 3 points from Christian Healy. They lead by 4, and you think it's going to take a green flag for Tipperary at this stage?
Yeah, it definitely looks like we're going to need a goal. It's just London are starting to find those scores a lot more easier coming in over the last few minutes.
And here is Jack O'Neill, does well to bring this ball forward, and hand passes it off to Kieran Costello. Costello now up to the 45. He loses his footing now, needs to get a hand pass away, and he does so as far as Joe Higgins. Joe needs to up the pace a bit now, as Tipperary need to find something here in these last few attacks. We have just about 3 minutes plus additional time to go here, and it is Tipperary bringing the ball forward through Mark Stokes on the far side of the field. Stokes plays it off to Freeney. Freeney inside to a bit of space for Luke Boland. He gets it off now to Keane Smith. Keane Smith on the run with the left boot, and he sails that over the bar. That is a lovely score for Keane Smith, 5th of the day, and it's back now to a 3-point game. 20 points playing 17. Emmett Maloney is about to come on for Tipperary, you'd imagine, in place of James Morris. Let's see. Kick out is to come first though, it looks like, and it is going to be Andrew Walsh, and he goes long into the middle of the field. There's a couple of free bodies in there. There's a tip man pushed off the ball, and is it going to come back for a free? It is Joe Higgins who's pushed completely off the ball there, and I'm not sure if the referee saw it. No, he's going to give the mark to London. So that's a very frustrating one for Tipperary. And it is going to be substitution now. Off goes James Morris, and on comes number 22, Emmett Maloney. So James Morris with a real nice score in this game. And we saw him kind of pull up there, but he looks all right as he's coming off the field anyway. But it is going to be a free for London after that mark from the kick out between the two 65s. 20 points playing 17. As London now look to bring this ball forward, and they kick it forward, and it's Emmett Maloney straight into the action. No, it's Jack Carney who does really well to win that ball. 3 additional minutes to come. So Tip on the attack on the far side of the field through Keane Smith. He's won an advantage. He brings the ball forward now in through a couple of tackles and plays a lovely ball in behind the defence all the way in as far as Paddy O'Keefe over there. O'Keefe does well to retain possession. Looked like he'd lost it originally, but Tip need to get something quick here, Fearghal.
They certainly do. They definitely need to get the next score, at least to bring it back to a 2-point game coming into the final stages.
So here's Micheál Freeney. Will he try a 2-pointer? He is going to come in onto the right boot. He's angling for a 2-pointer. He's going to go for it. He's kicked it well. Is it going to curl too much? It's going to go over the bar. 2-pointer for Micheál Freeney, and it is back to a 1-point game. Freeney off the bench onto the score sheet, and now anything can happen now, Fearghal. It's a 1-point game. We've 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, a little about 2.5 minutes to go now. It's anybody's game. You know, this is the beauty about the 2-pointers when they come into play. You know, it really is opening up the game, a game of football altogether.
Kick out goes long, comes off the hand of Barry, the London midfielder, but Tip had no one around him, so he's able to retain possession. Through number 19, he brings it forward now towards Joe McGill. McGill hand passes it off to Ty Barry, and London have possession now, and that's bad for Tipperary because the clock is winding down now. Less than 2 minutes to go as London lead by 1, 20 points playing 19. Live here in McGovern Park on Tipp FM with thanks to John Kennedy Motors in Clonmel. London almost cough up possession to Tipperary, but they've won it and they've retained it through Christian Healy now, and a hand pass goes forward. It's another loose one, but London still have it through Shea Rafter. He gives it off to Joe McGill. Is he going to go for the point? He's not. Is he fouled? He is, says the referee, and it's going to be play on continuing now as Healy has it now, and it might come back for the free. He's going to go for the point though, gives it off to Daniel Clark, and this advantage is really gone on a long time, and that was a soft free. Your man running forward for London was falling into Jack Harney as Jack Harney was retreating back, and it's going to give a tap over free for London, and that might be that if Tipperary can't win this kick out.
Yeah, definitely agree. It was kind of on the soft side for a free in or that, and yeah, you know, you'd expect London now to pop this over to make it a 2-point game, but look, we still have probably a minute to go or a little bit more.
So it's been sent over the bar by the free taker there for London. So 21 points playing 19. It was Joe McGill who sent that ball over the bar. That is his 7th point of the game. Tip need to find something now, and they are going to go short to Emmett Maloney. Tip have possession now inside their own 40-metre line is the problem, as they spray it over to the far side of the field now to Owen O'Connell. There's nothing on in front of him, so he punts a ball down the field before it's Owen Craddock. Owen Craddock gives it off to Jack O'Neill now. O'Neill brings it forward, crossing the 65. Tipperary down by 2 points, but in possession now, and a loose pass goes off to Paddy O'Keefe, but he has retained it. Brings it forward now, throws up a lovely dummy. He needs to get a hand pass away. He does so. It's going to be a chance for Keane Smith to level the game for the 2-pointer. Kicks it high. Is it accurate? Yes, it is. Keane Smith levels the game with a 2-pointer from way out the field, and now we are level, and that might just be that. Keane Smith could be the hero for Tipperary. Kick out to come from the goalkeeper. We're level at 21 points apiece, and the kick out is to come from Andrew Walsh. Owen Morrissey looking at his watch. Is he going to allow one more play? He is not. It is a level game. Tipperary come away from McGovern Park with a point that almost feels like 2, and it's Keane Smith the hero with the 2-pointer. And Fearghal, you'll have to say somehow Tipperary are going home on the flight tonight with a point in the bag.
Yeah, and you have to be happy to be going home with a point now, in all fairness. But it was a fabulous last score by Keane Smith. Lovely strike of the ball outside the 40-metre yard for a 2-pointer to level the game up. Yeah, no, well done. I have to give him credit to Tipperary. You take it into account they're quite a young team, a lot of composure, a lot to learn as well at the same time.
Yeah.
But you know, I think I 2 years ago when we were here and we drew, it felt like a loss.
Yeah.
This time now we're after getting the draw, and as it says, it felt like it was a 2-point. Taking the 2 points home, it's only a point, but you know, you'd be happy with taking the point home now today.
Well, these Tip London games have proved to be very entertaining the last few years. London got a last-minute point to draw it here 2 years ago. London got a last-minute two-pointer to win the game last year in Thurles, and now it's Tipperary's turn. Keane Smith with a two-pointer to level it with the last kick of the game. A brilliant game of football here in McGovern Park. Finishes at 21 points apiece. A great result for a finish for Tipperary, as they were down for large parts of that game. I don't know if Tip led at any stage.
Never led, actually, and I think this is the first time actually we brought it back all square as well. We got it back close to a point at one stage, but you have to give credit to them. I think a lot of the younger players now today really stood up. So this game will bring them on and leaps and bounds now going forward. Or that, I'm very impressed with Joe Higgins in midfield. I thought he had a fine game.
Yeah.
James Morris, when he came out from the full back and going forward with the ball, he really started to open up with that. Charlie King had a fine game as well. Owen O'Connell made 2 or 3 great blocks in the back line. It's promising. It has to be very promising. Very young squad. Definitely, you feel like going in the right direction. So to me, it was a good point.
Yeah.
Good point out to come out of London here today.
And what a kick to level the game by Keane Smith. It was on the right side of the 40-metre arc with the left boot, and you could see when he hit it, the Tipperary players all put their fists up into the air. Keane Smith put his fist up into the air, and that was Tipperary's 5th two-pointer of the game. I think that they all come in that second half as well for Tipperary. Shawnee O'Connor with 3 two-pointers. Shawnee finished with 9 points in total. Micheál Freeney come on and kicked that two-pointer, and Keane Smith kicked the two-pointer. Keane Smith had 7 points on the day, so the two-pointers making a huge difference for Tipperary here today.
No, big time at that, and look, it's great. We had 3 fellas now stepping up to the mark, that are capable of kicking the two-pointers, so it's absolutely fabulous result. Well done.
Yeah, that beeping in our ear, Fearghal, was the low battery on our broadcasting equipment here, but we still have 20% if we did want to continue on for another half an hour or so, but we'll leave it at that here in McGovern Park. Many thanks to you, Fearghal, for your co-commentary, and many thanks, of course, to John Kennedy Motors in Clonmel for the coverage of this game. I hope you enjoyed listening wherever you're listening to 21 points apiece. And do you want to say a word there, Fearghal?
No, listen, first thing I would like to say is thanks to yourself, Paul, for coming across, and for Tipp FM coming across to London today to broadcast the game. And that'll mean a lot to people back in Tipperary that can't come over to be able to listen to the game and get the updates of the game and keep everybody in touch with that. So a big thanks to yourself and Tipp FM for coming across. And I must say that there's a lot of Tipperary supporters that flew over yesterday evening and today as well. So look, thanks to everybody that.
Yeah, and you could hear the support there as that last point went over. And one of their biggest supporters is Kevin Hanley, who's also made the trip over. He's here as well, and he enjoyed that one, I'm sure. So 21 points apiece. It's finished all square here in McGovern Park. Safe home to everyone who's travelled over here, and you can listen back to all the highlights from the weekend with Ronan Quirk on tomorrow night's Extra Time. 7 o'clock start to that here on Tipp FM. But all over here in McGovern Park, full time, Tipperary 21 points, London 21 points.
Paul, thank you very much. Have a safe flight home, and sure we'll talk to you soon. Thanks a million, Paul, for that. Latest from the Ladies Football League.